What's up guys, this is Shanan. Today we're going to check out Trio in Bukit Tinggi, Klang. Let's go! Hey guys, today we are in a different side of Klang. Usually we always check out the Setia Alam side of Klang, and this is the other side of Klang where it's connected closer to the Kesas Highway, and almost at the tippy top of Kesas Highway, because the tippy top is actually Port Klang. A junction before that you will reach this rather new township altogether that was made famous with several things. The first thing will be the Aeon Bukit Tinggi, which is the old Jasco as we call it. Then there will be the landed developments called Bandar Botanic. So that really made up this entire address altogether, and since then it has grew way beyond just a landed development. Now we can see a few high rises already. We can see right behind Aeon Mall there will be Landmark, and today we're going to check out a new one. This is called Trio, and right in front will be Trio Walk. So this is a kind of mixed development setting, where in the front there will be commercial lots, at the back will be the residential. However, we are now located right adjacent to this main street that connects Bukit Tinggi to the central Klang itself, called Jalan Langat. And I was around when it was launched. At that time, LRT3 was not really confirmed yet, but looking at it now, so this will be Jalan Langat, right? And my first concern will be this one-way in setting. One-way in setting right into the development itself, passing through Trio. So this will be the entire perspective of things, right? The rendering. So this will be the commercial lot. So there will be some shop frontage in the front, and when things are good here, the entrance to the development might get busy. Also, this is located right next to LRT3's track, which is this one. So you can see that the station is almost ready. I'm not too sure whether is it up and running just yet. Looking at a drone shot, there's a secondary entrance at the back connecting to the inner roads, and along that street then there will be a covered walkway that allows residents to walk to the LRT station next to Lotus Hypermarket. Okay, so that's a good thing, but some few glaring things lah. Roads are really busy, so I like that the residence is parked at the back at the furthest end. So there's a temple here, then there are some water reservoir structures here, and this main road here is a rather narrow one going in, so you can see that's an entrance really, and there are so many people trying to get into the building, and this will be the work in progress for the commercial lot. So that will be the main entrance coming in, right? So the drop-offs for different blocks will be at the same floor, and this will be the visitor car park. It looks like the hypermarket type. Very nice, very clear, very bright. So there will be 3 blocks in total. Block A, which is located right in front, and at the end there will be Block B and Block C. So the drop-offs are very grand. How I wish it could be dressed up a little bit better on pavers or whatsoever, right? But here you have cement screeded floorings, then this will be some tiles, and it's located right in between, right? So this will be the drop-off, and you can look into the neighbors. Those are landed developments surrounding this project, so the views will be pretty awesome. Okay, let's get inside. So this will be the waiting lounge for the residents, right? After you drop off, there will be some sitting area. You have a double height ceiling here, so it's very comfortable. Some fancy lightings, and let's go to the lift lobby. So looking out, we are now at Block A itself, so we don't really feel the intensity from the road, so that's good. But here we can see that there's a brand new development coming up. I think it's a high rise, right? Then you have some office buildings, then there will be Aeon already, then a lot of shop offices, a lot of things to eat here. And this is the original setting of the location, so it's all landed. But here, very obviously, these 3 structures here plus these 2 structures here, a lot of water lah in this piece of land. So coming up from the lift, we are now in the lift lobby of the floor plate. The width from lift to lift is 3 meters. This is around 2.5. And when we look into the floor plate, so in one floor plate here, in total there will be 4 lifts, 3 passenger lift, 1 service lift, servicing 12 units in total, right? On one side you will have 4, the remaining will be on the right. And when we come out here, there will be an opening here, as the architecture is designed that way. Corridor wise, it's a double loaded corridor where units is in both sides. You will have voids in between, and let's go check it out. So for the lift lobby is somewhat elevated upwards slightly, so you will have a ramp, but the good thing is they don't have the fire partition door away from the lift lobby. So once you come out here, there's one less door to pass for residents. Family with kids then is a bonus, but the wall finishes then is rather simple. You will have tile flooring, decorative tiles for the panel, voids here, and this will be the opening as we observed just now from the floor plan. And looking outwards, this somewhat seems to be the highest project around proximity right now. Corridor width then 1.47, height 2.56, and you will have windows at the side here, right, looking into the somewhat unit's void area, and there will be some voids on the left and right. For the inner wall, for the void areas, they kind of use spray paint. They even spray paint the rainwater down pipe. Aircon pipings are all provided, but not the aircon unit itself. For the ceiling of the corridor is covered with plaster ceiling, so you have emergency light and the sprinkler system. Then for the void area, they just use a steel handrail that's see-through. So for people with kids, I a bit scared lah. Then there's a drain next to the void area in case of water going through the void. Along the corridor, then this will be the service area where you have the riser room, and this will be the service lift. So like contractors or maintenance people will be using this one. This is the refuse room. Okay, so it's a double door system, and this is how it looks like. So and there's a recycle bin, clean white. Yeah, nice. So this is somewhat like a double, triple protection kind of thing. And within this service area, again, is isolated out from the corridor, and you have proper ventilation already. Confirm lah, the smell won't go into the corridor. So that's nice. So along the corridor, there will be a slight step into the foyer. So this will be the unit that we're going to check out today. The width of this foyer here is 1.1 meters. So let's go check out the unit. So a good thing is the door clearance is 942 mm. This is a 2.4 meters height door, so the clearance is around 2.37 meters, and it's going to be helpful when we move things in. However, coming in, you will go through this rather narrow corridor because they place a room in front. So the clearance here is 1.09 meters, and this is around 2.4 meters in height. So this is rather narrow, but before that, so this is the unit that we're checking out today. Type A1 is a 656 square feet, 1+1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and it comes with 2 parking spaces. So looking at this, when we come in from the foyer, immediately next to it there will be a bedroom, or they call it a utility room because it's of the size. Then walking in, you will have the kitchen area here connecting to the yard space. Then you will have the dining, living, no balcony. Then you have the principal bedroom connected to the bath, but this is also a shared bathroom where you have doors on both sides. Now the debate will be this room right here. Because this space here, the entire entrance didn't feel really nice going into the space lah. Especially when we come in here, we still need to have allocation for the door width. Then we need a door stopper, and to move things, right, this is not going to be very comfortable. And the first thing that you feel when you come back home, you feel very narrow already. Although this room, I no doubt lah, right, will be very, very useful. So this is the first utility room. So the width here is around 2.11. This is around 2.98. In terms of size, it's pretty okay. Then the window will be connected to the void space outside. It also means that the quality of lightings in this room is not going to be very nice. So this can be a baby's room or a workspace if you are actually working from home. But it has been a while since we last witnessed a layout where the room is actually in the front portion of the unit lah. Because it really does affect the entire experience going into the unit itself. But as we walk into the unit further, this will be the dining area, the living, and this will be the kitchen. This then feels okay. So the wall-to-wall width here is slightly bigger than 3.3 meters. The ceiling height after the drop is around 2.98 to be exact. And the price for this property, if we look into Property Guru's website, this is going for about 265,000, right? I think this is the selling price after minus all the promo all lah. And for rent for this unit fully furnished is going for around 1,008 to 2,000 ringgit per month. The bigger units of 915 square feet ones is going for 2,006 a month. So this is around 1,007 to 1,009 per month. Solid. And because of its width of 3.3 meters, right, after putting in a dining set, you still have a very decent circulation pathway around the unit. And when there's no balcony, then they will just max out all the way to the boundary, and there's no need for a corridor to go through. So 3.3 meters then feels very comfortable. However, the unit feels slightly darker due to the smaller window size because they want to leave this strip. If not mistaken, this is going to be the strip for the colored one, like the one opposite. So this is the facade treatment kind of detailing. But I do think that this project is a somewhat breakthrough for this particular location itself, because now finally the business activities here, the population here, the infrastructure here has created sufficient demand for space where it can justify a high rise. If not, right, it's always going to be a debate, especially for a location like this. Why don't you just buy a landed? Let's say 300,000, you go and buy a 600 square feet unit for what? You go Jalan Meru a little bit and buy a landed single-story house. Why you want to settle for this? The main difference will be this area is closer to job opportunities, where you can see where it's closer to the business areas, and this is also walking distance to the LRT 3 station. And to think about this unit that can rent out at 1,008, right? When the loan amount is around 300,000, it's still justifiable, so it's not too bad. And eventually this is the evolution for most of the addresses in Malaysia. A lot of township all starts with the nasi lemak property first one. Terrace house, then some semi-D, some stratified ones, then townhouse, then bungalow, then mansions, then shop lots, schools, commercial activities will start coming in. Eventually, no more space really, then high-rise will start popping up. When the landed products are becoming a little bit too unaffordable for the public, that's somewhat the right time for high-rise to somewhat fill up that gap. And this is exactly what's happening to this address itself. So it's a good thing. But the thing about the earlier phases of landed around this location, like the Bandar Botanic, last time not very expensive only, but now cannot afford already. Too late. But after hanging out around, I do wish that this is a full panel itself, but maybe they want to control costs in a more elegant manner. I think that's the way to go. Next to that, this will be the pantry, and this looks like it's furnished by the makeover guys itself. This does not come with the unit. This is around 2.5 meters in length, and it includes a space for the fridge lah. And it comes with a 5 feet height backsplash, and this will be the plug points, cool and hot position with the basin. And because this is furnished in a way where it's for investment purposes, so just be informed, right? And it's facing the window, so at least if you do dishes here, not bad lah. But if you want to put in a top cabinet, then this only will be the limit lah. Okay, I like they somewhat try to maximize it, and surprisingly for such a size of a unit, they have a yard space like this. Unfortunately, some is taken up by the column itself, but I do appreciate a space like this where you can put in your washer and you can still hang clothes lah, at least as a spot. But then this becomes a very interesting debate where I can technically just enclose this space altogether. My kitchen will be superb, and it can just be a tight little corner for my washer and dryer altogether. This room's experience will be totally different altogether. Something to think about when we design buildings would be the context of the building, with the location of the building and the target audience. If this is within CBD areas where there's just a lot of experienced users of high rises, maybe that kind of typology will work. But for one of the first high rises within a landed oriented location, then I think this is a nice entry. I think this size of 650 over square feet unit is already a mind challenge to a lot of local residents really. But yeah, it takes time, right? Because eventually the price keeps creeping up. Nobody thought a 300,000 can only afford a 600 square feet unit here in Klang. A lot of people thought, oh yeah, Klang is still cheap one. No. Then something to point out will be the door frame colors and the door colors. This is like somewhat green, pretty adventurous. Hardly see colors like this. The switches of the light for the toilet here, and this is a dual entrance toilet. Okay, so that will be directly from the bedroom. This will be for the guests. It's okay because guests then don't have to go through your bedroom to access your bathroom, so I think it's good. But another argument is, since when are you going to host anybody? Let's go check it out first. So the basin here is by GBH. Oh, you, why like that one? Okay, we got to highlight to the team. Then you have full height wall tiles. You have a shower system, a compartment for your shampoo bottles and things like that. No shower screen. This is also by Azalea by GBH, and this will be a separate door altogether. So this will be to the room, and this takes up a lot of space actually. Enough for the space of the doors, right? The bathroom can actually be shrunk a little bit more because like this bathroom is actually very big in comparison to the size of the unit. And yeah, again, like based on the experience to the unit, you really didn't expect the rest of the unit to feel so spacious. Maybe a sliding door would work way better, but that one expensive lah. And it comes with a window at the side. And coming out, the tile sizes are 600 by 600 all the way, and you will have tile skirtings as well. So this will be the door to the bedroom itself, and you can see the switches, how I wish they are lower. And you can see there will be a ceiling drop at the area of the kitchen. And within this unit itself, there are sprinklers along the way lah. So you will have sprinklers on the common corridors within the unit as well. So going into the unit, this will be the layout and the window profile. So it's the same 3 panels, just that not full nor all the way through the height lah. So I think it's to control cost. So the width here is 3.76 and the length is 2.78. So it's pretty sizable. After putting in a queen size bed, you still have a lot of circulation space. Again, too bad that the window is not full all the way. A bit sayang, but in terms of space, it's pretty solid for this size of unit, where you can still squeeze in a bedside tables here. You have a wardrobe space here. You can go all the way if you want to, if it's for your own use. And this will be then the connection to the bathroom. Switches also are relatively smaller. But let's look into the view lah. So this view here is facing another block itself. So in total there will be 3 blocks as mentioned. A, B and C, I think. And something to point out, within the bedroom also there will be a sprinkler lah, just to take note. And I guess that's all for the unit. Let's go check out the facilities there. This is a rather direct one. So as we are in Block A, coming right out from the lift lobby, it's via this small door here. And next to that, immediately, we are next to the swimming pool. And you can see the subsequent blocks. This is their connection to the swimming pool itself. And the color blue is very nice. So here you will have the entrance portion, and this will be the lap pool here. I think the length is around 40 over to 50 meters here, pretty solid. Then around will be tiles. This will be a small little pavilion with some sitting areas. And you will have islands of landscape. So the mixture of plants then is a bit out of norm. It creates a very different feeling compared to the whole bunch one species. Then you will have some islands of planter box. I prefer this setting actually. So this is a way more gentle approach instead of building it up, right? But unfortunately the edge are not treated well. I wish they would be done better. They will have some palm, but this one a bit too small to give you the tropical feel. This is part of the main feature within their brochures actually. So this is just a sunken island for you to hang out, and this is where you take Instagram shots lah. But does it really do any effect? Not really. In fact, it actually breaks the entire form of the swimming pool itself. Yeah, it's just nice to have kind of thing. And now we can really experience the wind across the space itself. So it's very open actually, and something that we are very foreign to, especially for those who comes from KL, right? The entire skyline is clear. Even at level 7, we already have full access of skylines already. Well, until the next door one comes out. And next to this land also, there's another empty plot of land which I don't know belongs to who. That will most likely be another new mixed development complex lah, if not mistaken. But here we can really see the transfer slab that they actually apply. So they will absorb all the loads from the shear walls that are applied to the units, right? redistribute them tidily into the car park area itself. That's why in the car park just now, the column spaces are terrific. And here you will still have the swimming pool all the way. There will be one hole there, I don't know what is it, but it looks rather awesome. Again, so they kind of have this protruding out or sunken treatments across the swimming pool. Next to the pool then, this is the multi-purpose hall. And I like that they actually just put this transparent so you at least have visual connection to the pool. But looking into it, it's pretty wide, it's pretty solid. So the column spaces are actually rearranged to kind of maximize space within. Nice. But overall within the facility deck, just a lot of space because I think the canvas space is just humongous. Next to the multi-purpose hall, then this is the games room, and so far there's only one ping pong table here lah. And from the facility deck, we can already see that's the station to LRT 3 and it's next to the Lotus hypermarket already. So this is going to be a school and the shop lots around. So that is almost Panamaran already, and this will be the main street that connects all of us lah. And this is a perfect example then of a car park area versus the tower size, right? Because the car park area, and this is somewhat like the roof of the car park area that is so big, but the tower actually takes up not much space. As a result of that, you will have so much space around. So all our corridor space to control cost of maintenance, they just tile it all up lah. Now, something about these developers' high-rise projects, it always involves a lot of difference in level. So this is the ramp, we're actually taking the ramp, so they actually consider the inclusivity element. But you see, from the swimming pool level, dropping all the way to different levels. So this, I don't know what for, but it's just weird lah. There's so much space just for circulation. So now we are in the orange tower, I think it's block C lah. So this is where the gym is located, and once you come in, you will have this timber like vinyl. I think this is vinyl, and on the side this will be somewhat like an empty space for you to stretch and do your planks or yoga, right? On the side then they will have a squatting rack, which is also the free weights zone. And on this wall then you'll be this full mirror, the weight area. On the other side then this will be all the strength training area lah. So you have all the machines, and it's furnished by Fitness Pro. So pretty sufficient. There will be 3 treadmills here, plus the other side 5, plus the other side the bicycle area. So all are facing outside. And what do you see? The trio walk. So this is the commercial area that's going to be up soon, and this will be the train track. This is then something beyond expectation. Right outside the gym, this is the lower floor of the swimming pool. Means your upper floor is a pool, a water structure. This is the kids wading pool area, and it's so elaborated. So just look into it, right? This is the entire kids play area. There will be like a overflowing structure here, and it flows from the main pool upstairs. Wow, this is nice. And this is somewhat to emulate that beach area, and they kind of have the underwater mural there lah. So this is kind of fun. Too bad it's not real sand. If real sand, the maintenance will be different. But this treatment here, wow. While the children are having a good time, there will be platforms like this for parents to kind of sit down and chill and supervise. I wish they could have just added a shaded area because kids play very long. Anyway, next to the pool, there will also be islands of garden spaces. That will be the barbecue pit. And I must say, within this corner, then it feels way more furnished compared to the upper floor just now. So here you have more furniture, more dressing among the landscape treatments, and this is located next to the children play area. So while children having fun here, children having fun there, gathering can happen here, right? Parents just sit around lah, rest for a while. And this is the kids floor, a very active floor. So after coming down 2 stories, right, there will be a drop, a drop, a drop. So a lot of staircase and corridors around the facility deck. But I think that's somewhat like the concept of the entire facility deck. Like, you can see these layerings of landscape, this cascading effect. Visually you can see this, right? And it's even applied to the sitting areas. Then on a massing level, so you will have the trio walk, which is the commercial area. So the one level upwards before reaching the tower itself. So this is somewhat like that architectural language they are trying to achieve, and they actually green up the whole thing. So like on the bottom itself, it starts from there. So the entire car park actually just goes up and up and up. Very interesting. But in terms of practicality, I don't know, like in visually, right, it looks nice. I think from the drone shot, it looks amazing. The staircase also very nice, but walking through so many staircases, tired leh. So now walking through, I think one of the main garden spaces, we can then feel the interplay between levels. So this is very playful. You will have the contours, you will have the drop, then you have the extension of structure, and you combo that with landscapes. It's a very, very interesting space. However, just for experience, there's not much usage on actually. It's really just for experience. Unfortunately, all these are just facing the LRT track and the water reservoir structure. Unfortunately lah. So now we are in the elevated car park. I think it's awesome. This is a result that we pay for. We need to pay premium slightly a little bit to have such a car park layout where it's very tidy, flat slab system. Even the columns, you can see the columns are chamfered nicely. So much effort. You will have epoxy paint for the walkway, cement screeded for the rest. Very breezy, well ventilated. And there's two systems of ramp. One will be the larger ramp if you are going from bigger levels, and you have a split level ramp as well. So it will be 1A and 1B. So this gets you to the nearest, then you use the smaller ramp in between. And I do appreciate that they have an elevated apron around the lift lobby area. So I just wish that they could have been bollards here to somewhat stop the movements, but this is one of the better ones that I've seen already. And the treatments is, these are all open ventilated. Don't need to depend on aircon and all. So lesser maintenance costs. Okay, coming back down to ground floor, right? So we are now in between block B's drop off and block C's main lobby lah. So here we can actually go back out to the main road via the commercial area. This side then is rather interesting. So now here we have a shaded structure and pathway to LRT 3 itself, and this is the loading bay for the building. And this is an example of the speed ramp that brings residents into the elevated car park, and later that you have the mezzanine ramps to get into your designated levels lah. But here, coming out from it, you will have the water structure, you will have TNB, then you will have the school again. So this is, hey, thank you. Okay. An audience. Okay, so this is the shaded walkway. Just that I don't know whose property is this lah. So that's the only question right now. But this is going to be the pathway heading into Lotus as well as the LRT 3 station. Okay, so now we are at the end of the walkway already. So now left this final stretch before the walkway can actually connect to the new LRT 3. So I don't think it's actually running just yet. It's next to a TNB substation, but this is actually very nice. It's very comfortable, and we are also very close to Lotus hypermarket. So just in case for residents, you want walking distance, just go to the commercial area in front. If not, you can come to the hypermarket here. But this is like a local shortcut to where you want to go, so you don't have to necessarily be in front. And I'm so glad to see two entrances into the project. If it's only from the front via the elevated structure of the LRT, right, I'm going to be very devastated. But this is nice. This is like a insider road where only residents will know, right? Awesome. And I guess that's all for today's episode. It's now time for Sean's Take 3 on 3. So for the first three things I like, number one would be the architectural setting. It starts from the massing itself. So you have the commercial at the front and you will have the 3 towers at the back. And I like that 3 towers are in different height altogether. So at least it's somewhat playful, not so monotonous, since it's one of the only high-rise currently around this entire Bukit Tinggi area lah. So it somewhat makes a statement. And in terms of architecturally, they just decorate using lines of the mullion, the space between their windows, right, as the decorative elements to express themselves. But what I'm more impressed with is the cascading effect of landscape. From massing itself, you can see the cascading already. Within the facilities deck itself, the landscape treatments is another level. You have experiential pathways, staircase, different levels, different height, different species, different tones all together, just for you to enjoy yourself. Then the second thing I like will be the dual entrance. Technically, it's not very efficient in terms of cost and operations to have two checkpoints, because it's best is one in, one out, so security don't have to check so many points. But because this one, the front is not very conducive, so you will have a bit of problem. And it's a one-way street into Jalan Langat, which is the main heavy traffic kind of thing. So that one then is not as the best pathway. This one is so quiet, local road. Whew. I love it. This one, I am so glad for this treatment. And the third thing I like will be the reputation of this developer itself. So this is one of the biggest player within Malaysia's property market. And we can somewhat forecast the build quality and design quality from this player already. But this one is beyond expectation, definitely, in terms of the architectural and design treatments. And this is part of the certainty that people pay money for. Everything is sorted out, right? So that is part of the benefit of certainty of buying from a reputable developer. So even if I were to look into the front portion of the commercial area, right, it's a debate like whether is it going to be a success or not. But looking at the developer itself, they would do whatever it takes because it correlates with their brand name directly. Like you have such a reputable developer, this way you cannot manage properly, man. They will do something about it. So that's part of the good thing as well. For the three things that I don't like, them will be the micro setting of the site. Like when you come in directly from Jalan Langat, right, you are going underneath the LRT track and directly from a very busy road, the main road that connects Bukit Tinggi to the rest of the address. So it's a busy road, it's next to it, and then in the entrance you will have a temple in front, you will have the water reservoir structures around, you will have TMBs left, right, schools in the back. So it somewhat means that this site used to be a non-prime site, but luckily the developer kind of have the commercial as a buffer to somewhat absorb all the noise and to really push all the residential block as far as they can. So that's good. Then the second thing would be the layout of the unit. I'm in huge debate of why do we need the +1 right in front of the entrance. Like besides that, that's the narrowest feeling that I get throughout the whole project. Like only the entrance to the, and it's not like small, like in terms of size, we look into the specs, like the corridor is like 1.1 meters, it's 2.4 meters, is sufficient. But just that, what if we just take that out, right? And use it somewhat like a +1 and replace the yard space instead. So like the yard space is replaced with the small utility room, and then the front is actually like a pantry kind of thing, and you have an L-shape kind of, I don't know lah, but there's a lot of possibility to go about it, but that really just ruins the expectation of the unit. And luckily this is only the smaller units. The bigger ones, I do think, looking at the other layouts, right, it will be better. And one more thing is the window lah. I don't know whether it's this to control cost or not. I would be upset if it's to just have the facade language and they compromise on the window size lah. But how I wish it could be a bigger window size altogether. But I do appreciate that the layout 656, right, you still have a yard space, you will have a dual entrance into the bathroom, so that can protect the privacy of the user if they were to have guests at home. So everything else is practical, just that well, part of the design intent also, since we are there, right, like the commercial structure in front, if it's bad, it's gonna leave a bad impression, right? If it's empty, right? The big number of agents in front. This project, wow, you see branded developer also cannot make it, but actually inside all very good, it still gives the same impression. But if it's super good, very busy, everybody park in front, it's very hard to get back home also. So do pay attention. We often talk about these kind of things in this channel, so you guys know already. And the last one to highlight will be this address itself. In Klang, there's only a few main commercial areas. Like this is one of it, definitely, when you have Aeon and the commercial strips around it. So you have a lot of F&Bs, a lot of retail, just not too sure about job opportunities. And that's where the investment component, I'm not too sure whether does it tie here. If it's really up to the asking rent, where it's like 1,008 to 1,007, right, the initial buyers would make money, right? It's a positive cash flow kind of setting. Don't know yet. So maybe by the time I edit this, I will just put in the result. But it's good that this address has already reached a maturity see where projects like this make sense. Like last time, they were only landed. Then when all landed come out already, they need to be shop lots, they need to be a mall, they need to be schools, they need to be halls, be all these community building elements, and sooner or later, scarcity of land kicks in, and now it makes sense for a high rise already. And for locals, currently, if you were to talk about 700 square feet, you pay 300,000, right? To see how it doesn't make sense for them because you can still have options of single stories house at that price around this area. But it takes time, definitely, but this is definitely a start. So I'm thrilled to see that. Just I'm excited to document it. Looking at things, I think this is going to be like the younger generation house where parents, right, their houses are around here. They buy the house on behalf of their children, so to keep them closer around. If not, everybody will just move to KL, so what's the point of family, right? They'll just keep all of them around. If I cannot buy you another semi-D, I at least buy you a unit of apartment here lah. Since I have the membership also of this particular developer, and I suspect that's mostly the case for this project. And I guess that's all for this episode. It's raining heavily right now, but because of the structure, we are safe and dry, and it's very rare to have ground floor car parks like this. So it means, right, the canvas is a luxury. Like space is still in abundance here compared to what we have in KL, but I like it. I absolutely love it. This is definitely beyond expectation, but the debate then, is it a waste of space gracefully for the landscape treatments? But because I'm not paying the maintenance, if for those who are paying maintenance, I don't know if you like it or not. And I guess that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, and if you really like this episode, like it, share it, and even subscribe for more information like this. Until next time, this is Shantan. Ciao.